While the ancient Egyptians were building stone pyramids, another civilization was engineering vast, grid-planned cities across what is now Pakistan and northwest India. The Indus Valley Civilization supported millions of people, yet these ruins are curiously empty. We find stone foundations and drainage systems, but no monumental tombs for pharaohs, no statues of kings, and no records of war. Their written language remains a mystery. We have hundreds of these carved seals, like this one depicting a unicorn-like bull, but we cannot read the symbols inscribed across the top. Because their formal history is locked away, we have to look for the story of their lives in a different place, the mundane trash they left behind. The everyday clay pot turned out to be a historical time capsule for this civilization. The unglazed pottery's porous structure traps biological remnants, specifically tough microscopic starch grains and fat lipid molecules. By scraping the inside of these ancient walls, researchers extract these signatures, separating starches from fats to reconstruct the exact ingredients cooked inside. Under the microscope, this molecular evidence reveals that this vanished civilization was cooking the oldest known curry on Earth. The starch grains recovered from these vessels contain the unmistakable botanical signatures of wild turmeric, ginger, garlic, mango, and eggplant. The lipid residues concentrated at the bases of the pots show that utilized high-heat frying techniques with sesame oil, rather than only boiling their ingredients. To balance those spices, they developed an organized dairy economy. Excavations have revealed a high proportion of adult female cattle bones, which were kept alive specifically for their milk. Archaeologists also found strange, heavily perforated pieces of pottery in the ruins. By matching these specific artifacts to dairy lipid residues, we now know they served as ancient cheese presses. They were churning butter, fermenting yogurt, and processing milk into early forms of paneer to cool the heat of their spiced stews. To scoop up those sauces, they built a massive infrastructure to protect their grain. They constructed high-platform brick granaries to keep thousands of tons of wheat and barley safe from floodwaters. Citizens ground that grain into fine flour, mixing it with water and dairy to form a soft dough. They slapped the dough against the blazing hot inner walls of bell-shaped clay ovens, which functioned the same way modern tandoors do. 4,000 years ago, citizens were already tearing apart smoky flatbreads to scoop up spiced lentil curries, a meal that remains a staple across the subcontinent today. Around 1900 BCE, the local climate shifted permanently. The monsoon patterns moved east, and the life-giving rivers of the Indus Basin rapidly receded, leaving behind dry, cracked channels. Without reliable water to sustain their agriculture, millions of people abandoned their urban centers and dispersed. The grand brick architecture and civic planning were powerless against the environmental collapse, and the desert eventually swallowed the empty cities. The population vanished into the wider subcontinent, leaving no grand royal edicts or written explanations behind. But while their physical cities crumbled into dust, their daily rituals survived. The fleeing population carried their culinary techniques and recipes with them as they migrated. Fast forward 4,000 years to the present. You can walk into a kitchen and find the same combination of tandoor-baked bread and a spiced ginger garlic stew, completely intact. The brick cities are ruins, but the ritual of the meal achieved a different kind of permanence. The legacy of the Indus Valley reached the present as a living recipe that outlasted its own empire. While the physical archaeological evidence allows us to reconstruct the oldest recorded curry recipe in human history using the exact ingredients found at these ancient sites, history can be literally tasted by chemically reconstructing ancient meals and following the preparation techniques preserved in the archaeological record. The evidence for this specific meal was discovered at an excavation site in Harappa, India, called Farmana. Through starch grain analysis, researchers extract molecular data from the microscopic pores of ancient clay cooking pots found within these ruins. These traces confirm a specific ingredient list: brinjal, or eggplant, paired with green mango, fresh ginger, garlic, and turmeric root. Traces of black peppercorns and sesame identify the primary heat source and the cooking medium used 4,000 years ago. To prepare this correctly, you must remove any tomatoes, potatoes, or chili peppers from your cooking station. These are New World crops. They would not arrive in the Indian subcontinent for another 4 millennia. Historical recreation requires working within the specific biological and geographic constraints of the Bronze Age to capture an authentic flavor profile. Step 1 is dicing the brinjal and green mango into large rustic chunks. Set these aside for later. Next, gather the aromatics, the fresh ginger, garlic, turmeric root, and black peppercorns. These must be processed together into a paste. Avoid using a food processor or blender for this step. Use a mortar and pestle or a heavy grinding stone. A steel blade cleanly severs plant tissue, but a heavy stone weight works by violently rupturing the cell walls. This mechanical pressure forces the plant to expel its deep, pungent oils. Grind until you reach a chunky, earthy consistency. The release of these oils creates the aromatic foundation for the entire dish. The physical mechanics of preparation are just as important as the ingredients themselves in dictating the final flavor. For the cooking vessel, the Indus people used heavy-bottomed pots like this one. A modern Dutch oven provides a similar heat distribution. Heat your pot and pour in a layer of sesame oil. Sesame oil is the earliest known edible oil in the region, a fact confirmed by lipid residue analysis conducted on the Farmana pottery. Once the oil begins to shimmer, drop the crushed aromatic paste into the pot to fry. This blooms the spices, infusing the hot oil with turmeric and black pepper compounds to create a concentrated flavor base. This process, frying a spiced aromatic base in oil, established a template for South Asian cooking that has remained in use for thousands of years. Now, add the chunks of brinjal and green mango into the hot, blooming oil. Stir the mixture continuously until every piece of produce is completely coated in the golden turmeric oil. Add enough water to create a broth, along with a generous pinch of pink rock salt, or Sinda namak. This salt is historically accurate. It was mined directly from the neighboring Sindh region during the Harappan era. Cover the pot and simmer the mixture until the brinjal softens and the green mango begins to break down. As it cooks, the disparate ingredients should meld into a single, thick, tart gravy. This slow simmering process uses sustained thermal energy to transform raw roots and unripened fruit into a unified, complex dish. The completed brinjal mango curry is now ready to be plated and served.